Hello and welcome to the Newsman, the news for the intelligent Indian. We begin with our top story. India and USA step up strategic partnership with initiative on critical and emerging technologies. It aims to build technology value chains and position the two countries as trusted technology partners. Create a standing mechanism to address regulatory barriers and restrictions. Programs launched under it include establishment of the Indo-US Quantum Coordination Mechanism, connecting defense startups of India and USA, build resilient semiconductor supply chains. The benefits of this initiative include ease export barriers and strengthen linkages between the startup ecosystems of India and USA. Coming up next, early draft of the WHO's Global Pandemic Agreement was released. It pushes for vaccine equity, which means that vaccines should be allocated across all countries based on needs and regardless of their economic status. It also calls for waiver of the intellectual property rights during pandemics for wider access to life-saving vaccines and drugs. Shifting our gear to environmental updates, 𝗀𝗃 report on elephant safety was released in 2010. As of December 2022, India has lost 494 elephants to train accidents, electrocution, poaching and poisoning over the past 5 years. Now there are 3 questions. Number 1, why elephants are important? Elephants are important because they are a keystone species playing a critical role in sustenance of wildlife and biodiversity. Number 2, why was this committee set up? Due to the rising human-elephant conflict and high number of unnatural death of elephants. Number 3, what are the recommendations of this committee? Recommendations include, number 1, setting up of a National Elephant Conservation Authority like the National Tiger Conservation Authority, establishing of open-air forest labs and securing elephant landscapes. CITES database reveal red sandalwood smuggling. The CITES trade database has recorded 28 incidents of red sandalwood confiscation from the wild being exported from India. Now what is CITES? CITES, or the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, Fauna and Flora, is an international agreement between governments whose aim is to ensure that international trade in wild animals and plants do not threaten the survival of the species. Now there are 3 points. Number 1, red sandalwood is only found in eastern Ghats of India and it is India's most exploited tree species. Number 2, it is a very slow growing tree species that attains maturity in natural forests after 25 to 40 years. And finally, these consignments are exported to China, Hong Kong, Singapore and the United States, with China getting around 53% of the share. The demand for 6th schedule grows in Ladakh. An agitation demanding the inclusion of the region in the 6th schedule under Article 244 of the Indian Constitution boiled over last week after 𝗀𝗵𝘂𝘀𝗂𝗃, a 𝗪𝗃𝘁 Award winner and inspiration for 3 Idiots, went on a fast. The 6th schedule provides for special measures to protect the interest of tribal communities by giving them the power to govern themselves. For now, the 6th schedule is only applicable to Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Its benefits include decentralized administration in tribal areas by establishing autonomous district councils which have substantial powers to govern and manage matters like justice, land, forest and education, establishment of tribal courts and preventing transfer of tribal lands to non-tribals. The agitators in Ladakh are demanding restoration of full-fledged statehood and job reservation for locals. In global news, Lebanon devalues its currency by 90%. This devaluation was part of the conditions of the $3 billion IMF bailout agreement. Moving to business world, International Seabed Authority and Ministry of Earth Sciences exchange polymetallic nodule exploration extension contract. India has been assigned an area of around 75,000 km in central Indian Ocean basin for polymetallic nodule exploration. Let us dissect this. Number 1, what are polymetallic nodules? Polymetallic nodules are deep sea, small potato-like rounded accumulations composed of strategically important minerals like manganese, nickel, cobalt, copper, and iron hydroxide. Metals extracted from the polymetallic nodule can be used in electronic devices, smartphones, and solar panels. The potential is, by just utilizing 10% of the polymetallic nodule reserve available in the allotted area, India can meet its energy requirements for the next 100 years. But the concerns include that this deep sea mining may cause irreversible damage to deep sea ecosystems. And finally, wrapping up with sports, South African women beat India in the T20 Tri-Series final.